autumn statement announcement of awful George Osborne. His Nightmare Before Christmas. But what we've seen as well in the last 2 weeks, obviously, is a real escalation of events around Syria and the Middle East, and the likelihood that the UK or the Tories are going to put a vote to Parliament to bomb Syria. And tonight we've got Bristol Stop the War Coalition with us. Thank you. And I think the message for tonight, it was a bit too late to change the nature of the event in the publicity and all of that, but really the message tonight, I think, is a dual message. The message we're sending out is that we demand to maintain our welfare, and we demand to do away with this warfare. These interventions in the Middle East, in all parts of the world, that are only causing more destruction of civilian lives, that are only causing more catastrophe, and the voids in society, the destruction of democracy and the fabric of society that's let loose the the murderous phenomenon of ISIS that really we all know has come about through multiple interventions over the previous decades, and the instigation of the US and other Western forces in in provoking this kind of terror, in funding it at times, and really the reaction that we've seen to Paris. I think there was an outpouring of solidarity for the French people, but what we've also seen is the worst kind of reaction imaginable, which is one that seems to want to perpetuate a cycle of violence. So, I think what we're out here to say tonight, is that actually we demand, peaceful resolution to the conflicts in the Middle East. And Jeremy's going to speak about this later. We're going to have Stop the War speaking about this, and other people. And that what we don't want is more bombing. And I think that the main point that struck me this week was that David Cameron announcing £12 billion of a new expenditure on the military and defence, at the same time as the Tories are cutting an additional £12 billion to welfare. And this really exposes the lie of austerity, that this is about, sensible bookkeeping or something like that, when we all know it's about the Tories forwarding their agenda of privatisation, of selling off our public services, and of doing down decent, ordinary people working in those services, and really making it a society for the few, socialism for the few and capitalism for the rest of us. So the nature of tonight, it's not just going to be me ranting for an hour. It's going to be a bit more of an open mic event, and I think the way we planned it is that in order to allow as many people as possible to express their feelings on these issues, these cuts to tax credits, the fact that we want this government out, that we really want an end to this government and their austerity agenda, and we want it soon. We want to force this government out in the next year. And so I want people to come up, give their feelings on these things. They can also speak about the war, the impending likelihood of war, and the conflicts there. And I'm going to ask people to limit their contributions to 30 seconds to a minute. I know that seems short, but really in order to get maximum number, that means a couple of lines, a couple of sentences, a few sentences. We will have an extended contribution from somebody from Stop the War, because I think everyone would like to hear a bit more detail on those points from people who have a specific knowledge. But I'll be quiet now, and I'll pass on to. I think I'll start off with somebody I know who's got something to say about these issues. That's another member of Bristol People's Assembly, and then after that point, if people can kind of move forward, if they're interested in speaking, and I think we can organise this in an orderly way, and not be out here too long, but enough to really make our thoughts known, our feelings known, and send out a clear message. So I'm going to hand over to Kevin Potter, who's another People's Assembly activist now. But thanks a lot, and let's keep this going.